Hey there, how you doing? My name is Sherilyn, and I'm here to do your weekly tarot reading. And this one is going to be for my Scorpios. So let's just pull cards and see what you get. This one, I feel like the reading is basically timeless. It is actually for this week, which was, what are we doing? We're doing the 27th through the 30th, basically. And I'll be back on Wednesday with bonus readings to try to get you through the weekend. So this is the 27th, right? Let me see. 27th through the 30th. Yeah, that'll work. That's what it is. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Okay. Alrighty. This one's going to be for my Scorpios. Move some of these out. Okay. Here we go, Scorpio. Oh. I got a timer. Okay. Let's see. For my Scorpios. Okay. All right, let's see what you get. We're starting with Justice, okay? Followed by the Lovers. And then we get the Devil. So this is your backstory these three cards are your backstory. So we're going to build from here. But it looks like, and it's basically your recent past as well as your backstory. So we're going to say in your recent past, it looks as though there was a love situation that Justice tried to play out in, meaning that the scales tried to balance themselves out in a situation. The challenge here was the Devil. So there was some sort of a stumbling block within this love situation. It feels like there was, I don't know if somebody was drinking too much or, I don't know, it could be anything, but there was an addiction to something here that skewed perception to a degree that was not at all acceptable when it came to this particular relationship. Meaning nobody was really seeing things clearly is how it feels. This has already happened, so we can't change it, but this is what we're dealing with. So we're going to build from here. I do believe that Justice ended up playing out as far as, I mean, the scales eventually were balanced out. Is how it feels. Okay, let's see where we're going. So where are we at now? Now we have the Seven of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the Seven of Wands in the challenge position. So the Seven of Pentacles tells me that right now you, Scorpio, are sitting at a crossroads where you have to decide whether or not you want to continue to invest in this direction, and if you do, how much are you willing to risk? I do believe right here you are presenting as the King of Cups. So male or female doesn't really make any difference. This is all about an energy, but you are standing firmly in your masculine here. And you have pretty much been put in charge of the emotions within this dynamic. Meaning the ball's in your court, right? You get to decide what you want to do. The Seven of Wands over here on the end is in the challenge position, and I feel like there is definitely an issue here with the defensiveness. And how could there not be, right? Obviously something's gone wrong in this relationship, and so now it's all about trying to get past whatever's happened here. That's why on one side you have the Seven of Pentacles, the other the Seven of Wands, because it's like you have to decide whether or not you want to invest here. And if you do decide to invest here, can you invest here? Can you get past whatever this is that's happened in this relationship? If you can't, then it's dead in the water before you start, right? I mean, it's like, do you have the ability to let your defenses down towards this person? All right, let's see. In the near future, yeah, I have heartbreak. And then the King of Wands. And then the Six of Cups. Okay, so for starters, okay, you're presenting as the King of Cups. Your counterpart in this dynamic we're talking about is presenting as the King of Wands. Okay, there really can't be, there has to be a yin and a yang to any kind of relationship for it to be successful, really. You know what I'm saying? Somebody has to lead and somebody has to follow. In a great relationship, there's an ebb and flow. Okay, so one day one person leads, the next day the next person leads, whatever. Right this minute, both you and this counterpart are standing firmly in your masculine, period. Okay, they're in the King of Wands, you're in the King of Cups. that means everybody's trying to lead. You have a lot of chiefs and no Indians type of deal, okay? So that is the first red flag or problem I see right this second, okay? The other one is the heartbreak. So when I asked you, are you going to be able to let go of whatever it was that was done here, you know what I'm saying, and get past it? I mean, the next card out was this Three of Swords. So there is a lot of unhealed pain still. And some of it, even you're questioning, can it be healed to a point where you can find total forgiveness or find a way to trust this person again? So in the near future, you're still trying to deal with the heartbreak. At the same time, you are in your masculine dealing with somebody else who's also in their masculine. And the challenge in this line actually is the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is the challenge is the fact that you have so much history together that it seems foolish to throw this away. But if you can't find the forgiveness to let this go and move past it, there's really there's almost no other choice, right? Other than to just make each other miserable, kind of. That's how I see that. Anyways, what do we got on the bottom here? Okay, so now I have the Empress, the Four of Swords, and the Page of Wands. Some of you could have children with this person. With the Empress, you have totally, you're totally invested in trying to nurture this, is what you are at one time you were. Right now, you need to be totally invested in trying to heal. And with the Page of Wands, I don't know. If you have kids together, then this is the child. And the fact that they are affected, but not as negatively as you might think. They're a free spirit, so things like this don't get them down to the extent that they would other signs, maybe our other children. They seem to be flowing with this very well. If you have children. If you don't, then this is this person that you're dealing with acting incredibly childlike. Meaning, I don't care how many years they've been on this earth, they have not developed a sense of maturity when it comes to relationships and understanding how to deal with people. All right, let me see. What else you got? We got the Page of Swords. So you're looking for clarity, but you're doing it in an indirect manner. Now the Page of Cups and then the Queen of Wands. Okay, so we have 3 of 4 pages out here right now. So this is definitely an issue as far as, I don't think it's you. I think it's the other person involved. But at any rate, whoever it is, maybe it's both of you for some of you, you have a very unrealistic expectation here of this relationship. And it's because of a level of immaturity that is just very large. Okay, there's just not a huge amount. I don't know if there's not a huge amount of experience or just not a huge amount of social interaction on this level. But for some reason, somebody here is definitely lacking the maturity to almost be in a relationship. You know, this could also lend itself to possibly somebody not being mature enough to be in a relationship because they're fostering some sort of narcissistic sort of traits, right? Because they're in the me kind of deal. And we all know with relationships, it works much better when you have you know, you and them, not just me. Queen of Wands is coming out as well. Now, Queen of Wands coming out to the King of Wands tells me that this, not only that this was some sort of a destined relationship to come together. In some respects, to me, these 2 cards are the 2 that signify somebody being quite possibly a twin flame, okay? Because you're mirroring each other back to each other, but these are not the happiest married couple in the tarot deck. This is a couple that's constantly breaking up and coming back together. And it's because both of them have an issue with being bored and not being able to stay bored. They look elsewhere if they get bored. There's also a little bit of both of these 2 cards, they're both people that are me first all the time, and they're both very passionate, and sometimes they can act impulsive. So let me get 3 more and we'll get out of this. What do I have here? I have the 9 of Wands, the 6 of Wands, and the 3 of Cups. I mean, for sure, with these cards, you are wounded. Okay, you are very wounded. I'm sure in their own way they probably are too, but it's a lot different. It does look like you have some great friends around you that are very concerned and want to be there for you. There is definitely something here about your image taking quite the beating here in this situation. I don't know why. That's not giving me that, but the 6 of Wands, I feel like it's negative attention that you've gotten as far as public recognition goes. I mean, it's up to you, Scorpio. You can continue down this road if you want to. It looks like they are a willing participant if that is what you're after. I just don't know that anything has changed. So it, you know, it stands a good chance of turning out exactly the way it already did.